check out the Fractal Node 304. It's a black mini ITX case, and mini ITX cases are quite cool these days. Now, first off, we're talking about size. The dimensions of the case are in millimeters, 250 by 210 by 374. On the front, there are no buttons. There's just a small LED by the Fractal Design logo on the bottom right. On the side, we have microphone, headphone, and two USB 3.0 ports, as well as your power button. Now, taking the case apart is very easy. Both the side panels and the top all come off. It's one solid piece. You just remove a few thumb screws and take it off. Very easy. Now, once you get under the hood, the front comes off very easily. The front does have some ventilation, and also it allows you to route your cables in different ways. So if you guys want to run some cables through the front, you can do that easily. There's three large white hard drive bay areas. You loosen the thumb screws and take out a screw, and they all slide right out. Now, in there we can install 6 2.5 inch or 6 3.5 inch drives, and they sort of hang suspended in the case right above where your power supply is going to go. When you mount your 3.5 inch hard drives, there are some rubber grommets that will help reduce the vibration. Now, the power supply mounts in the front, but it plugs in the back, and they do this by giving us a little cable that runs from the front to the back. It's an L power cable. Now, there are 3 fans pre-installed. We've got 2 in the front. Those are 92 millimeter, and those spots are also compatible with 80 millimeter fans. In the back, we have a 140. All the fans in this are the Silent Series 2, which are hydro-bearing. They should last quite a long time. We do have a fan controller on the back. It's 1 Molex connector and 3 fan connectors, so you can control up to 3 fans with it. If you're not going to be using the fan controller on the back, you can unplug the entire cable assembly. It plugs into a little PCB, just pops out, and then you can set it aside. If you want to mount your own aftermarket cooler, you can use a tower cooler, and you can use one that's up to 165 millimeters high. All right, looking at the back, you see our fan controller. We see our 140 millimeter Silent Series 2 fan. I see our I/O panel. We've already got our back plate installed for our ASRock motherboard that we're going to put in here. And then you see a spot for 2 expansion bays, and that'll be good if you're using a dual slot graphics card. We decided to throw a system in here so you guys could see what it looks like. Wendell's going to use this at home, and he's not going to be using this 4870X2, but it's a huge GPU, so we decided to throw that in there. When you put your GPU in there, you're going to have to remove one of your hard drive bay areas, and that'll remove 2 hard drives. However, one thing that they didn't really advertise, and I'm not sure if anybody even thought of this, but you can couple an SSD with a standard mechanical hard drive and put one on the inside, one on the outside. Doesn't matter where you put them, but we put the big one on the outside just to show you how it looks here, and that does not interfere with your large dual slot GPU. One other thing I want to note about the GPU, this 4870X2 is huge. There's still room in front of it, but if you look right behind the power supply, if you're using a modular power supply that has bulky plugs, it may interfere with your large GPU. I prefer, with this case, having a non-modular power supply with all of the cords snaking out of the back right side of the power supply. Now, there's several spots here to tie down your cables along all the rails. Everywhere you look, there's spots where you can, use tie downs. You can see here with the side panel, right above the GPU, there's a large mesh grill, and that's going to let the GPU really breathe. All in all, I'm really happy about everything that you can do with this space. You can get creative, so you can really build an awesome system inside the Fractal Node 304.